Hello, team owners of the USFL. This is Highlights. Good morning with my scraggly self. Here we go. Highlights week 4, previews week 5. Philadelphia Stars go down to the Memphis Showboats. James Hayes wins, remains 4-0 in the South. Philadelphia Stars, John Pahala is a high-scoring team, but has met his match the last couple of weeks. So Philadelphia Stars go down 29. Memphis 32 in a good big win for Memphis. Denver Go. Michael Rutt wins his first game against the New York City Hitman. Terry Harness was a little handicapped this past week, but nonetheless, Denver found a way to win. Denver is 1-3, only one game back out in a tight Pacific with a bunch of 2-2 teams leading the pack. Michael sitting there at 1-3. Congratulations, Michael, on your first win in our league as you're one of the new guys on the block. Terry, better luck next time you play the Feds this coming week. Tina's going to be ready for you. Arizona Wranglers and LA Express. Kevin Perillou's having a tough time this year. Joey Maynard is 2-2 with this win, and Joey Maynard sits atop. The newly owned LA Express, he sits atop out in the Pacific. Kevin's struggling at 1-3, but only one game behind with a big game coming up this week. Jacksonville Bulls. They are Thomas Wilfong. He is now 4-0, and he's playing. He played the Tampa Bay Bandits this last week and won that game pretty solidly. Tampa Bay is 1-3. Brian Tracy and Phil is 4-0 for the Jacksonville Bulls. Birmingham Stallions this week got a new co-owner member, Brett Brock. We welcome Brett. He is Joe Bach, we're known as Joe Bach as well. He is an ex-USFL player, honorary member sitting on the Stallions. We are so glad to have you, Brett, and Henry is excited to have you too. But the Stallions do go down this week to Oakland Invaders, Michael Lanzalotti's team, who is also tied in the Pacific for first place right now. Pittsburgh Mall's Michael Bosley gets his first win against Jason. So, man, the Pacific Division is really tight right now. And congratulations to Michael Bosley for winning his game this past week. Chicago Blitz pull out a win against the Feds. Feds have a rough week this week. Tina lost her tight end, her beloved Alabama Crimson Tide tight end. And there you go. The Blitz are tied for first with Kyle out in the Central. And the Feds go down, still remain in first place right now in the Atlantic Division. New Jersey Generals, Matthews' team, and Jose, they lose to San Antonio Gunslingers, high-flying San Antonio Gunslingers, Jake's team. Jake gets back on a winning way. New Jersey Generals having a little rough. They put it together this next week in their next game coming up in week 5 to get back on track. Orlando Renegade lose to Orlando Oklahoma Outlaws. Kyle is in first place in the Central. And, man, the big game of the week, Michigan goes down to the Houston Gamblers. Paul Thompson and Scott Boucher, another honorary member, sitting with Paul on the Houston Gamblers, take down the Michigan Panthers this past week barely as Michigan tries to come back on Monday Night Football. Can't quite do it. And the Houston Gamblers win that game. Next week, previews. Got some great games to talk about. First off, Memphis Showboats play the Gunslingers. Both of these guys are from up in the North Mississippi area. Jake, 2-2, one game back in the Central. Memphis Showboats trying to hold on and stay close to Jacksonville Bulls are 4-0. James Hayes, Jake, go at it this coming week. Good game to watch. New York City Hitmen and the Washington Federals is not the game of the week. There's a better game out there. But this is definitely one to watch. Terry will fight to the end. I'm sure come up with every trick in the book he can to try to pull this game out and get in a tie, get back in a tie with the Washington Federals. Great game. New York City Hitmen and Washington Federals this coming week. Houston Gamblers and Outlaws is another big game this week. Houston's one game back. Scott Boucher and Paul Thompson's team are playing Oklahoma Outlaws, Kyle Smith, and Keith Clark's team. Keith Clark was going to take a trade and go to the Tampa Bay Bandits, but he decided to stay with the Outlaws. So we have 2 honorary members on these 2 teams. Houston Gamblers, Outlaws are going to settle it on the field this coming week. It's definitely the game of the week to watch. The LA Express and the Tampa Bay Bandits are going to go at it. in a game that really matters to both teams because Bryant is 1-3 and trying to get back in the mix in the South. Joey Maynard is trying to hold on to first place out in the Pacific with his LA Express. Michigan Panthers and the Jacksonville Bulls, another great game, a rematch of Barrett Bowl 1. Mark Nemi and Phil Wilfong. This could be a great game to watch. Phil tries to stay undefeated. Mark tries to get back on top in the Central Division. Birmingham Stallions and Orlando Renegades play it out this week. They're both 1-3 in the South. Both struggling a little bit. Somebody's going to come out on top and try to get back in the mix. The team that loses there, don't quit, guys. Anything can happen. You can still mess up the South, even if you end up 1-4. Work that waiver wire this coming week to give yourself a chance. That advantageous waiver wire, it will go to move to last after claim after this week. Top 8 boards coming up soon. Exciting things happening as we get into what I feel like is the second quarter of our season. Oakland Invaders play the Arizona Wranglers in a tough Pacific matchup. We'll see what happens there. Arizona, Kevin Perilou is going to try to get back on top. He's used to being there, but Mike is going to try to do something about that. It's a good game to watch. Chicago Blitz play the Pittsburgh Maulers. Denver Gold play the Portland Breakers in another Pacific battle that's important, and it's a tight race out there, one game apart between all teams. And then Philadelphia Stars play the New Jersey Generals. Have a great week, guys.